you did your 10 days in VR, you kept the
Mhm.
VR on whilst you slept. So I
So
know
I kept
obviously
it.
your eyes were closed.
So I guess for the people listening who have never heard of this, yeah, when we reached 10,000 subscribers, an idea that had come up was spend 10 straight days in virtual reality. And, I think it was a joke. Someone had said, oh, you should try this. And no one thought I would really do it. And it came time and I was like, you know what? I didn't tell anybody I was going to do this. This was a total secret. I prepared, I got everything I needed on hand. And I was like, all right, I'm going to start a stream on this day. And all I'm going to tell the community is that I'm going to do 10 days of streams for 10K. I didn't warn them because I didn't want to get 8 hours in. My eyes would be on fire and I'd give up. I wanted to save myself the embarrassment. But by like hour 8 or 10, I was like, wow, this feels pretty doable. And so I announced, all right, here's the plan, everybody. I'm going to keep streaming day and night for the next 10 days straight. And I'm going to be in VR the whole time. My only breaks I allowed myself, I had to eat in VR. I had to sleep in VR. I had to go to the bathroom in VR. I did allow myself to take it off for 2 showers a day because I knew I didn't want to be absolutely disgusting from this. And I didn't have enough headsets to wear one in the shower and risk electrocuting myself. So yeah, I would stay in VR. I would game. I would sit there at my desk and chat with people with virtual monitors in front of me so I could see the chat. I would eat underneath the bottom of the headset, just still had it on. But when I went to bed at night, typically I'd put Netflix on because Netflix has a VR app where you can lay back and position the TV up above you. And I would just have the TV running and then I'd fall asleep with the TV on. Now, it it's the weird thing was it didn't really affect my dreams because I didn't really dream. I think I just never got good enough sleep or something to really remember much of my dreams. But there is no, right now it is so bad trying to figure out a way to have that headset on your face and not feel like it's killing you all night long. Like people said, oh, I've taken a nap or I've laid back and watched things. Yeah, that's 1 or 2 hours. That's not 8 straight hours of sleep with, this 500, 600 gram headset on your face. And with the Quest 2, I thought, oh, I'll use the stock strap. It's soft, it's flexible, it'll be easy. Well, I had that on the first night and that elastic was pulling the headset even further into my face. And I woke up at one point and I thought I was being strangled to death by this headset. So yeah, there was a lot of crazy things that we can unpack and talk about. But the weirdest thing, since we're talking about sleep, was when it was all over. The next night, I got back in bed with my wife, and normally you come back from vacation and you lay in your bed and you're like, oh, I've been gone for so long. It didn't feel like I'd been gone for more than a single night. I could not understand that it had been 10 whole days. And when I thought back, I couldn't break the days apart in my mind either. Like I remembered playing Rec Room with the community. I remember playing VR chat. I remember playing Poker Stars. Yet I could never tell you, oh, that was like day 3 or that was day 7. It was like it was all one day. And I had been away from my bed for one night when I got back in my bed. It was the weirdest feeling.
Do you think it's because you didn't experience sort of the sun coming up and the sun going
Yep.
down?
Yeah, it was no day nights. Like I was, even though I was following a schedule still, I got up every morning. I exercised and Beat Saber multiplayer with people. I ate lunch. I ate dinner. My wife was still working her normal job from home. So I knew when it was lunchtime, when it was dinner time. But the fact that I never saw the sun come up or go down, I was in this room. It was completely sealed off. I had no windows showing. It was like, I was not part of the world anymore. Yeah, I had the loss of day night cycles. I had no idea what the passage of time was anymore.
That's so weird how it just feels like it's just one big blurry day.
Yeah, I still, even to this day, when I try to like separate out what happens, it's really hard. The only thing that's helped is going back and going through the footage and figuring out the video. At least I kind of saw, okay, there was a passage of a lot of time, but it just felt like one long day.
I don't know
It's
if I could do
strange.
that. If I could do the full 10 days in there.
Do you think it made you appreciate sort of real life experiences more once you came out?
It definitely, I was like, wow, as soon as this thing is over, I'm gonna eat something, I'm gonna go outside, and I'm gonna sleep. Those are my 3 things, all without a VR headset on. Because that was the other thing too. People don't realize, yeah, it was 10 days of VR. It was also 10 days straight of streaming. It was pretty much 10 days in one room. This room right here, there's a bathroom right here, a full bathroom with a shower. So that's where I went to the bathroom. I was right here. Nat was luckily making meals and bringing them down for me. So I literally didn't leave this room for 10 days. I was streaming. So I was constantly thinking about people watching me. I had a camera on me when I slept. So I had to think about that too. And and the weirdest thing, when I stepped outside, you'd think like, oh, it was so bright or so overwhelming. My nose went crazy. Like there was a million smells coming from everything. And they weren't bad, but it was so overwhelming because my nose had only breathed air in here for 10 straight days. I went outside, there was just way too many smells all at once. It was like, wow.
Oh yeah, there's quite a few aspects of it which you wouldn't really think about because you've just done 10 days in VR. Anyone would just ultimately be thinking about, oh my god, he's been in VR for 10 days. But it's hard for anyone to commit 10 days, even just on one task, to fully commit the full 10 days, day and night, even on one thing. But I mean, in your video, you said you've learned a lot more than just what it's like to be in VR for 10 days. Like, what else did you learn about sort of yourself? Because you're sort of, in a sense, you're on your own. But you mentioned obviously you got the stream that's with you, and that obviously helped. But you've got these online people who aren't really people who you're spending all your time with. How weird was that side of it?
It was twofold. So one, it was kind of weird because it was like I've done long streams before, you know, and you're always talking to people, you're always engaging, but to some degree it's always a little one-sided because you're responding to their questions as their questions come in. It's not like this normal communication like we're doing right now, back and forth. But two, it actually made me feel not lonely because no matter what, there was always someone there, whether they were watching or chatting, there was always people there, which also I think helped the time go by faster. But it forced me to also play more multiplayer games because I knew there were people there. I was like, let's go do something together. Let's hang out together. Where if I had tried to do a 10-day challenge alone, I probably would have just stayed in Minecraft the whole time, like just built and scavenged and survived. And I might have gotten really lonely and really depressed. But having done it all on stream, I never felt that like, oh, wow, I'm truly alone right now. That I think I would have felt if I had allowed myself to just do the stream the way I would have thought I wanted to, which would have been, you know, keep a camera on me for 10 days, but just live my life playing whatever game I felt like.
Do you think that's something you will do or you would like to do in the future?
No, I said after it, I don't think there's anything more I could learn, even if I'd gone for 100 days versus 10. I don't think I would learn any more. So unless there was like a really good cause or a good reason, I don't see doing it again because I felt like I kind of learned everything I could. But I definitely, once it gets to the point where the headsets are more comfortable, they're easier to see through, the better pass through. Like a Quest Pro, if I had done that when that thing existed, it wouldn't have been that hard. I can walk around my house seeing full color pass through of everything. I could have went up and made meals. I could have done anything and everything with that headset. But the technology of the time was not quite even there. And even now, it's not that much better. But I mean, if in another 3 years, if we have really easy augmented reality, virtual reality glasses that are like sunglasses, I don't think we will in 3 years. But if we did, I mean, you could probably spend a month in it and be like, you'd just say, you know, I didn't take my AR glasses off for a month, but it would still be pretty normal life. What I did was pretty like, I was stuck in place with a cable either to my head or with my Quest on with its battery. And I just was not a mobile, normal human being. I was pretty tied down from it.
One thing I found interesting from the video is you said you started to see the avatars as normal people, like they started to look like real people.
Yeah, that was weird. It was like, it wasn't until like day 8 that things started to get weird. You know, your brain can take a lot before it starts to accept something as reality. And it was after over a weekend that all of a sudden my brain was like, I guess this is existence now. I guess I have to relearn what a living creature is and what an environment is. And this is it. And it started to be like when people were talking to me, even though it was their avatar, I was like making eye contact and looking at them like this is a real person right now. It was no longer I'm in a game and I'm just thinking about a game world. It was like these interactions with these hands and these mouths and these eyes, like it started to be like, that's real. And I was like, no, it's not. That's a furry avatar. What am I talking about? But it was the closest I'd had in so long to that. That was like, I started accepting, okay, this is what's really other creatures. What these are human beings that I'm interacting with. And it makes me worry about people who just spend forever in there. I don't know. There might be some serious disassociation where when they see a real person, that feels like the fake thing.